what's good, listeners? Welcome to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Bunker Edition. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
It is going fabulous. How are you
Right?
doing?
Hey, life's good. Life's good. I'm just beyond stoked to be on air with you today because it's a beautiful day. It's October 15th. And, we always like to do this on the top of the show. There's always some cool things that are happening in history. And I know on this day, 22 years ago, I don't know about you, Marissa. Maybe you saw it in the theater. I was too young, but Fight Club was released in theaters, and I probably just broke the number one rule. Anyways, you have to see the film if you get the joke. But on this day in 1993, Nelson Mandela and the South African president F.W.D. Klerk was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. And I also saw that last night Mandela's family is selling off his clothing. So if you got some riches and you want to throw some shekels down, you're probably not going to get lucky. But supposedly the family wants to move forward to turn Mandela's Memorial Garden into a tourist attraction during the region. So that'd be kind of cool. We'll see what happens. But we've got a great show for everybody that's tuning in for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Bunker Edition, because we're going to be highlighting during our Off the Fret moment Royals. They are a Southampton, UK band, and they're going to be our next music podcast for our Off the Fret. More music talk. So keep a lookout for that as we're hoping to drop it by the end of the month. But we got a show right now. So Marissa, it's time to rock and roll.
Let me try that one again. There we go.
All right, this is hashtag TLDR, too long don't read. Marissa and I, we did all the reading for you, so you didn't have to do it. In an article from the New York Times titled, Raiders Coach Resigns After Homophobic and Misogynistic Emails by Ken Belson and Catherine Rosman. John Gruden stepped down Monday as the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders football team hours after the New York Times detailed emails in which he made homophobic and misogynistic remarks following an earlier report of racist statements about a union leader. So the resignation came shortly after the New York Times reported that Gruden used disparaging language over several years to slander people around the game, denouncing the emergence of women as referees, the drafting of a gay player, and the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem. And listeners, ask yourself, why is this surfacing now? Is this a vendetta? I mean, to me, there is so much hypocrisy when it comes to the NFL pressuring the Raiders to fire Gruden for private emails sent 10 years ago, and everyone wants to talk about there's no room for bigotry in sports. Then explain to me this. Why does the NFL continue to reinstate players back into the league for being charged with domestic and or sexual assault? I mean, to me, it's funny how the Raiders and the Buccaneers felt it was necessary to speak out against Gruden, but had no problem enrolling Antonio Brown to their squad as he settled in court at the time for sexual assault towards his former trainer. I mean, overall, John Gruden is gone, but the NFL's troubles may be just the beginning. I mean, after all, the NFL Players Association will ask the league to release the remainder of the 650,000 emails to the public. Let me repeat, 650,000 emails. Time will tell whether they will comply.
All I want for Christmas is my 2 FedEx packages. That's right, because that's the tune the White House is hoping to avoid this holiday season. In an article from NBC News titled, Walmart, FedEx, UPS will increase operations to ease supply chain bottlenecks by Tegan Finn. President Joe Biden has helped broker an agreement for the Port of Los Angeles to become a 24-hour, 7 days a week operation as part of an effort to relieve supply chain bottlenecks and move stranded container ships that are driving prices higher for U.S. consumers. And we have a clip here of President Joe Biden speaking on it.
Today, we have an important announcement that will get things you buy to the shelves faster. After weeks of negotiation and working with my team and with the major union retailers and freight movers, the Port of Los Angeles announced today that it's going to begin operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Walmart, our nation's largest retailer, is committing to go all in on moving its products 24/7 from the ports to their stores nationwide. Additionally, FedEx and UPS, two of our nation's biggest freight movers, are committing today to significantly increase the amount of goods they're moving at night.
So for a lot of you that don't know, Los Angeles and Long Beach ports account for 40% of all the shipping containers entering the United States. 40%. But what happens once that cargo is unloaded? Because, hello, there are not enough truckers to work the 24/7 simply because the DMV is backed up. So that might have been like the first thing to fix was our DMV. And Chris, you had sent me this crazy worrying statistic about the consumer price index right here in the Inland Empire. What was that?
Yeah, it's crazy because we live in the Inland Empire, right? Well, at least I do still. You're somewhere else, but we're not going to disclose where Marissa lives. But
LA, baby.
But the whole point is the Inland Empire has the highest inflation rate in the entire nation. And you know what drove me nuts last night? I saw a clip from Pete Buttigieg, who is our, our transportation secretary. And he goes on CNN and they ask him about what are we going to do to combat getting our shipments by Christmas? And he goes, well, as a recent father, you might have to start, shopping closer to when it's Christmas Eve. That's not the point.
What? Wait, shopping closer to Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
that would mean you don't get anything.
You don't get anything, and that's not the point. You're the transportation secretary. Your job is to fix this gridlock that's happening with our transportation of goods. So, this kind of stuff, hopefully this comes out and becomes successful. I think this was a strong push by President Biden to make things move forward, but come on now. You can't be having this guy say these ignorant comments and then all of a sudden, expect that everything's going to go swell when Christmas time shows up. We'll see what's good.
Well, my advice to all you out there this Christmas is to buy everyone that weird fruitcake that we've all heard about, but
right.
Don't ever eat, because it will be delivered by Valentine's if the bottleneck continues, and it will still taste the same.
Oh, so I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Yes, a fruitcake.
Right. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a bisexual. In an article from Screen Rant titled, DC's new Superman, John Kent, comes out as bisexual by Liam McGuire. So DC Comics has officially confirmed that John Kent, Earth's new Superman, and the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, is bisexual, as Advanced Art of Superman, son of Kal-El number 5, sees him share a kiss with his new love interest, Jade Nakamura. Hopefully I pronounced his last name right. But between Tim Drake being confirmed as a bisexual in the recent Batman urban legend story, and now John Kent's own sexuality being further explored, DC Comics and Warner Brothers is continuing to make their world as inclusive and diverse as the real world itself. But what happened to fighting crime? This is the only thing that I have a pet peeve with. I'll let you share your thoughts, Marissa, because you had a great point that I think you need to share with the listening audience.
Say it now? Oh,
yeah, might as well.
I thought you were going to continue talking.
No, you know me. I'm just my whole thing with even the Tim Drake situation. You had a funny point even last month when this story got dropped, where you were saying he already is a swinger in real life. We didn't even need DC Comics to even let us know about these kind of things.
Focusing on the sexuality, first off, takes away the whole point about saving the world. I'm not saying that we can't create a character that has that. You have Poison Ivy. She's always been a bisexual. I'm not just saying her female, but come on. We all knew Robin swung a couple different ways, didn't need to have it rehashed out.
But I guess my real question is, it's who are they gearing this sexuality towards? I know they want to be more inclusive and diverse, but I don't see too many young kids even picking up a comic book to read. They are forming this towards our audience on a level.
All I can say is they've had maybe one too many focus groups, because sometimes you gotta not have so many. But what it really comes down, what I was looking at is mine just went blank right now on his name, but the guy that played the Superman on TV.
Yes, yes.
Oh no, on TV. So he came out and he said, look, even though, yes, it's now the son is bisexual, we are, he was saying is like, to really combat toxic masculinity, why not you have the person that is that, heterosexual, white, straight male out there actually championing for LGBTQ rights.
Right.
For anti-terrorism, women's right in Afghanistan, right? So why not actually fight for the stuff that we have versus saying like, oh, look, he likes penis. Hey,
right. And
that doesn't change their toxic
They do the most cliche comic book story writing 101, where they go, oh, John Kent, he works at the newspaper firm and he meets Jay, this new pink-haired guy who happens to be bisexual. Now the world's just a happier and a better place. But hey, listen, if you want to read this, Superman, Son of Kal-El, #5, comes to comic book stores on November 9th. You know what's so funny? I realized I had my Off the Fret logo like the whole time. That was pretty funny. I got a little too excited for what we were gonna do. Hey, but you're muted.
I'm all laughing because I literally hit the wrong one. We're supposed to be into just talking, but I was focusing on your Off the Fret background.
Yeah, exactly. Wait to let a homie know what's good. I got a green screen. I can't, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I was like looking for the video, and I was like, Off the Fret. He has the wrong thing on.
It's all good. It's because we shot our Off the Fret pre-recorded on Monday, so you guys are going to see it later at the end of the month.
Hold on. I want to do our just the talking. Ready?
I know. Okay, fine.
Okay.
We're running out of time. We're
running out of time. Okay, so now it's just talking.
Yeah, let's get right on into it because, this is just talking. Marissa and I, we want to discuss the latest news that's circulating around the world this week, and this is our week's wrap. So NBA superstar Kyrie Irving is speaking out about his freedom surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine after the Brooklyn Nets announced that he will not participate in practices or games if he remains unvaccinated. So on Wednesday, the 29-year-old NBA star opened up about his decision to not get vaccinated while on Instagram Live, urging fans to respect his choice and not spread false narratives about his stance. So we have a little bit of the segment from Kyrie Irving when he was on IG Live this week. So let's roll the clip, fam.
Don't believe that I'm retiring. Don't believe that, I'm going to give up this game for a vaccine mandate or staying unvaccinated. Don't believe any of that shit, man. Like really be aware. Pay attention to what's going on out in the real world. People are losing their jobs to these mandates. People are having to make choices with their own lives, which I respect. When you were promised that you would have exemptions or that you didn't have to be forced to get the vaccine. This wasn't an issue before the season started. This wasn't something that I foresaw coming.
And before we move on to the next headline topic, I just want to say, I've thought about this over the week. I mean, it's too easy to make fun of Kyrie Irving for being a flat earther or even burning sages before, Celtics games. But I want to go back to my point last week that I mentioned even during my TLDR. Like, where is Adam Silver's? I mean, this whole situation is happening because of the NBA commissioner. I mean, why is it acceptable for the unvaccinated players to play in home games in San Francisco and New York, but the resident athletes such as Kyrie Irving can't play? I mean, this is how this all started. So this is, to me, only comes across more like this is the best kind of advertising that Adam Silver can get because the league starts in 4 days. Why not put this man on the cross, Kyrie Irving, and make him look like he's the scapegoat, acting like as if he's ruining the team? But then on the other side, there are people that are upset at him going, you signed the contract, you're supposed to be playing with the team, so you better figure it out or you're getting traded.
In that contract, it did not say you mandatorily have to have COVID vaccine.
That is very true as well.
I'm going to throw that out there
but there's a lot of that's a great point, Marissa, and I will just end this on the final note. They put way too much pressure on the Brooklyn Nets organization to say something, and now they did, and now it's going to cost them a player. He might get traded. But let's go to the next one.
I'm trying. It wasn't working. Zoom is on lag mode.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate being on with you live right now. But this fall, women outnumber men on 2-year and 4-year college campuses by millions. Nearly 60% of students are women, while only 40% are men, an education gap that has been widening for decades. So the problem has become even more acute as the total enrollment has fallen by more than 1 million students over the past 5 years, while the Wall Street Journal reports that men accounted for 71% of the decline. Wild. All right. In a generation thriving from gender reveals, Lego Group announced this week that it will be making more inclusiveness for kids by ensuring its marketing and products are, quote, free of gender bias and harmful stereotypes. I mean, they are joining the ranks of Emily Ratajkowski as we won't know the gender of the Lego until it's 18 years old. But thank God my Legos are gender neutral now. They are safe to play. But Marissa, all jokes aside, this is kind of funny because, to me, when I was growing up, Lego was always inclusive. You can literally pop off the head of any Lego character and put it on another body. I mean, that's kind of inclusive on my
hey, look, as a female that played with boy toys and girl toys growing up, and I do that for Lilac, Lego has never once in my mind been like, oh, look, this is only for girls, or look, this is only for boys, ever. Because like you said, you can change the heads around. You can get more girl, little Lego people, more boys. I mean, really what they focused on was the career. So you had a police officer, you had a nurse. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, look, that's a boy police officer. Like that was just like, oh, it's a cop, and you played with it. So.
You know what's really funny that because I was looking through Twitter, I was trying to see if anybody was really outraged over this kind of situation. I mean, obviously people are trying to make the pun intended, grown-ass adults are all upset again over toys, just like Mr. Potato Head. But it is kind of funny to point out, there was one individual who did notice that, Lego, they never address why when they come out with girl Lego sets, why do they always have less pieces when it comes to creating that girl castle? Or why is it when I go to buy a boy Lego set, it has the normal amount of Legos to build that spaceship? So if they really wanted to be inclusive, isn't the whole point of being equal? Equal amount of pieces? I don't know, just saying. All right, later this month marks a very special anniversary for Rockstar Games because 20 years since the original release of Grand Theft Auto 3, the game that set players loose in the sprawling three-dimensional metropolis of Liberty City with a new and unprecedented sense of freedom and immersion. So in honor of the upcoming anniversary, Rockstar Games announced Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the definitive edition featuring GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas, featuring across-the-board upgrades including graphical improvements and modern gameplay enhancements for all 3 titles. All right, so the Rolling Stones may have dubbed their tour No Filter, but the iconic rock band has filtered out one of their most popular songs from their set list. The band retired their 1971 hit song Brown Sugar from their current tour, for now at least, over conflicts surrounding the controversial lyrics that depict slavery, rape, and drugs, guitarist Keith Richards confirmed to the Los Angeles Times. I kind of thought it was funny because when the LA Times reporter was actually interviewing Keith Richards, his first reaction goes, oh, so you picked up on that, huh? Like this is always common sense. And I just want to read you one of the lines that was in the LA Times report because I think this is so important to remind the listening audience that Keith Richards went even further to say, quote, didn't they understand that this was a song about the horrors of slavery, but they're trying to bury it? At the moment, I don't want to get into conflicts with all of this. And I think that's kind of really sad that now even the old school rockers of today even feel like they can't even play their own songs that they've been playing for almost 50, 60 years, it almost seems like.
Yeah, and I think it's a little different than when Prince turned religious and stopped singing the classics that reason we loved Prince, right? So I think what's different is he had chosen not to sing those songs himself. We're here with the Rolling Stones is they're feeling so much pressure on something that they're the song doesn't even mean what you're taking, and they don't want to deal with cancel culture.
Right.
It's not that he's not saying, hey, we'll defend it and play it, but they were like, do we really want to go down that route? We just don't care. They're millionaires. They have
Right.
a lot of songs. They're like, in the day, oh, well, it's one song, you lose out, we're done. And they were keeping it rolling. Literally.
It's so true. And like, I don't know if anybody's seen the new Dave Chappelle stand up, but like, he literally tackled on this situation, which is such a great point because, you know, he was talking about the LGBTQ, how they went after DaBaby for saying those homophobic slurs at a concert, which, yeah, it's wrong, but should he be chastised and never able to play music again? I think it's kind of crazy. And he points, but let me finish my point though, because he calls out the hypocrisy of cancel culture because it's like, does anybody realize that DaBaby actually shot and killed a man inside a Walmart store and then goes ahead and raps about the song? And nobody flips a bitch, but the minute he makes a homophobic slur live in concert, then he's chastised forever. I mean, it's crazy.
I think he's undercover.
He might be
I think that's
undercover.
why they're not going after him. They get all the dirt.
But think about how crazy this is and dangerous, by the way, because, you know, we all saw what, Al Gore's wife tried to do with, the whole parental content bullshit on albums, releases and etc. But it's like, do we really want Spotify and Apple Music to start threading out and weaving through, lyrical content? I mean, the first artist I can think of right away is Ice Cube and NWA. They used to rap about killing cops. Like, really? Demi Lovato is at it again with her woke nonsense, encouraging her followers to stop using offensive terms such as aliens when referring to extraterrestrial beings. So the Grammy-nominated pop singer said in a recent episode of Unidentified with Demi Lovato, quote, "I think that we have to stop calling them aliens because aliens is a derogatory term for anything. That's why I like to call them ETs." And funny enough, I don't think anybody's really picking up on what Demi Lovato has to say because I saw that there was an article this morning from the Daily Mail US posted with the headlines that read, "Earth could be alien to humans by 2500. Uh-oh, Daily Mail. Are you going to lose your credentials for news source? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Marissa? I mean, this is kind of crazy.
I think with the platform that she has, making stances like this undermine what she could actually be doing in the world.
I mean, it's such a fair point. I mean, she's the one, she kind of drives me nuts. I'm just going to be real honest with my CCS family. I mean, she kind of drives me nuts. It's one of these kind of girls that I'm very happy went through the whole success of getting off the whole drug overdose. I mean, I think that's a huge accomplishment that can't be easy for anybody. But it's like, once you got over that OD story headline, now you just feel like you're so irrelevant that you have to say stupid bullshit like this on Peacock TV.
And I think if people have been watching what's been happening with her the last few months, there's actually a lot of talk and concern with her mental stability.
You think?
And it's stuff like that. No, I'm very serious, where people are wondering, like, does she have a support group with her? Just because some of the stuff she's saying and some of her actions have been erratic and kind of not really making like in touch with the sense of what's happening. And these are usually signs of someone who could be battling a mental breakdown, because she does have a history of that. I mean, she has had mental breakdowns. She has had to have professional help. And so a lot of people are kind of like, there might be some flags out there right now with what's going on with herself.
Yeah, easily. And I mean, especially when you become a host of your own show on Peacock TV, you got to expect that every eyes and ears are going to be on you. And every single word that you say is going to be called out. I mean, we're obviously seeing it with the Kyries and the Grudens of this world. Facebook is pouring a lot of time and money into augmented reality, including building its own AR glasses with Ray-Ban. Right now, these gadgets can only record and share imagery, but what does the company think such devices will be used for in the future? Well, there's a new research project led by Facebook's AI team that collected 2,200 hours of first-person footage from around the world to train next-generation artificial intelligence models to see, hear, and remember everything you do. So the project is called Ego 4D, and the data set could be deployed in AI models used to train technology like robots to move more rapidly to understand our world. And what do you
I
think
know.
about that, Marissa?
Okay, all I have to say is anytime that I have to have like Mark Zuckerberg like handling something as really as important as this and that can be like dangerous, it worries me. And you know me, I am for AI. Let's do it. I'm a sci-fi person, but someone like him who cuts corners, who doesn't look at anything to help out and only thinks about his own ego. I wonder why it was called that.
Right.
Actually worries me. Like that is the one part I'm like, nah, please don't do this.
No, but to me, it's just another excuse to infringe on our privacy. It's like, well, how do we know which individual is actually wearing one of those AR Ray-Bans? I mean, I wish I had a photo of it right now. I totally forgot to send it to you, but they actually look like Ray-Bans. I mean, yeah, you get these tiny little lens cameras that are on each corner of the camera, but like, how do you know whether you're being recorded or not, and whether you even want to be recorded on, on camera? You'll never know nowadays. I just think
the new policy: no glasses in my house.
Right. I
don't want a porno sent out there.
Right. So if a Japanese culture says you need to take off your shoes and walk barefoot inside the house, I respectfully take off your glasses, you four-eyed freak, Chris, and never trusted.
I love it.
Ego 4D coming soon. Yeah. Oh, what a damn travesty. Oh, this hurts me to even report this, but we have to. The first trailer for the forthcoming Home Alone reboot has been released, and viewers are somewhat less than impressed. So Home Alone fans brand Disney Plus reboot a travesty, as the first trailer dropped this week, with one Twitter user tweeting, "I refuse to acknowledge this movie's existence. We can't play all of it, but we want to give you a snippet. So instead of us discussing any further, let's show you guys what we're talking about." This is Home Sweet Home Alone.
The family left for their big vacation.
Is that everyone? The cars are leaving now!
But forgot one little thing.
Mom? Dad? Uncle Blake? They don't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm here.
You do realize that my 10-year-old son is at home by himself. You just assumed Matt was on the other flight.
We didn't take a census.
We got reports of suspicious people around 36 Lincoln Ave.
I can't go to jail, honey. I wouldn't last 30 seconds in Gen Pop. It's where fresh fish get got.
No.
This is like that time I wish I had like an A-list celebrity phone and I could just call up Joe Pesci and be like, we need your comment on air. Like, what do you think of this? I mean, this is so cringy in my opinion. And this is just my problem again with this new generation of Hollywood elites ruining everything. I mean, why do we continue to create sequels to instant classics? I mean, how are we supposed to support the next up-and-coming great screenwriters out there today when all we're going to do is give them the task to just reboot classics, which are honestly being epically failed, and then now your name is tied to that piece forever, and then you might never, ever get a job.
It just didn't need to happen. I mean, look, they already tried it when they had that other different kid that wasn't Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
And those failed. Like
Home Alone 4,
I
5.
thought, yeah, and I was like, this is it really, Home Alone was because of Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, like just those two, you know what I mean? Like that made it.
I know that this young kid, Archie, he was incredible in Jojo Rabbits. I really love that film. If you haven't seen the film, you got to watch it. It's an incredible piece.
Fabulous.
But I'm afraid that this kid's going to be bullied for life because of this film.
I don't think he's going to be bullied for life. I don't know about that one.
Trust me, he looks like he's going to be bullied for this role because it's like, why would you even take up this? It's crazy. All right. Well, across the country, people are leaving their jobs at record rates. According to the data released by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics on Tuesday, 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs in August. So to put August numbers into perspective, the number of workers who quit their jobs rose by 242,000 from July and by around 1.3 million since August 2020, which recorded a total of almost 3 million quits. Pretty insane. right. Well, the Duke of Cambridge, he has spoken out. Prince William said, great brains and minds should be, quote, trying to repair this planet, not trying to find the next place to go and live. So speaking about the current space race and the drive to promote space tourism, Prince Williams has suggested entrepreneurs should focus on saving Earth rather than engaging in space tourism. And Marissa, I feel like this is a stab at you, but I think there's also a double-edged sword that you need to be joined with William Shatner as well, because we all know this week he became the oldest person to go to space as he blasted off in the Blue Origin suborbital capsule developed by billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. I know, weren't you shocked that I got all of that in?
I know. I was actually pretty impressed with that little twisters in there for you. Okay, so while yes, I do feel a small personal jab, and I kind of want to quit back at him, but he does do a lot of charity work. I mean, granted, he could probably give up more of his royal money. That's not going to happen. He's got to think about his kids and grandkids.
At least he doesn't put his royal money into a space force. So,
but that's the whole point: is why not have both? Like, I don't understand why you have to have either or. Like,
okay.
There's no reason
you know what? Prince
space
Williams actually addressed.
it.
Well, Prince Williams actually addressed that question, because he says the fundamental question that nobody's asking from people like Elon Musk and Sir Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos is, no one's talking about the carbon cost of space flights.
Yep. And let me tell you, the fact that we have to put anything on a private sector to save us has an issue. I mean, I'm sorry, like, he is still, even though he doesn't run the UK, that's the prime minister, that's stuff like that, but he really doesn't have room to speak on it because he's not allowed to make decisions on it. But I'm saying if he wants to focus on it, then he can take his money and he can focus on it.
But he also said, too, that he warned that there is a rise in climate anxiety when it comes to younger people whose futures are basically threatened the whole time. And it does start to feel like that on a level. And I don't understand why we need to be focusing on going up in space when there's a lot more shit going on down here today. Like we always talk about, how do we reuse, plastic material? How can we turn the asphalts to, let's say, charge up electronic vehicles? How can we do stuff that can be the embetterment of our lives? And what the hell does going to Mars or picking up fairy dust at the moon gonna do for
it allows
everybody?
us to have that sense as a human of the wonder of what we can actually
It's too expensive.
attain and go forward. No, I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan of exploration, of going out there, planting the human seed, galaxy-wise. Like, I'm all about it. And it doesn't mean that we can, by having a funnel going forward that way, that we also can't focus on Earth. And I think that if more people saw the Earth up in space and saw this beautiful globe, maybe it'll flip their switch. Like Jeff Bezos all of a sudden is having more stuff. You never know. You're not going to ever convince me not to go to space.
So you think, okay, so now that William Shatner went up to space, do you think he's going to do more initiatives on Earth to actually make it better? Because he did say that, oh, wow, when you're looking from up in space, you get this whole new sense of we need to do better for climate change, as he obviously heard Prince William's comments or knew that they were coming. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of these.
Or maybe he actually felt that.
Hey, I guess so. I mean, I could look at a picture on my MacBook Pro and I felt that too, and that doesn't change my philosophy.
No, that's just, never mind. That's Pornhub, honey. That's a whole nother
sorry. There's too many peaches on my screen. I just can't see right now. But hey, this is the week's wrap. We appreciate you joining us right now, but we got more left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, so stick around, fam. Let's get it, baby.
It's coming.
That was all good.
Dun, dun, dun. Zoom is, by the way, Zoom is lagging hard.
Hey, you know what? We just appreciate
today.
our listening audience joining us today on this beautiful, beautiful morning. So, hey, let's get it. Voila. See, now I changed my background. See, I was trying to plan for it to get like that, for the thing. And I prematurely, was on, Pornhub, I guess. And, you know how it is, just,
hey, your mumsy's listening.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hey, what's good, everybody? Because we're going to do something a little different during our Off the Fret, because we have a brand new music podcast that's going to be coming out at the end of the month called Off the Fret More music talk. We actually break down every single song that's off their brand new EP, which we are very fortunate enough to have as our second artist on Off the Fret, which is Southampton UK pop punk band Royals. And we actually broke down every single song from a Spark to Ignite EP. And we also got an early listen to one of their pop punk covers, which you will hear later in this segment. But we're going to just show you guys a clip from last season's when we first talked to the band Royals. So they were formed in 2019. Royals got off to a quick start, releasing several singles and music videos, followed by their debut EP, Painted Gold. And then COVID ruined their lives in 2020 with the band swiftly adapting with new members. So Royals joined the show last season to discuss the impact of COVID and their opening track, Worldwide Catastrophe. All right, fam, let's have a listen. But we got the boys in Royals all the way out in Southampton. How's it going, fam?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up? I love it. I know that one of the band members is gone. That's Tom, right? Tom, you're at your own decision. Why aren't you with the boys right now?
He smells.
He smells. He's sneaky, right? He's the only one that's still in his music video outfit. I mean, you got the pink cosmetic going on. And so how's it going, fam? Everything good?
He's not changed since. That's why he isn't here. He just thinks.
How does it feel, Tom, to have all your buddies just clowning you right now? Because at one point, you guys are going to have band practice, I'm sure, later today, and you're going to have to see them in person, right?
I might see them if they're lucky. Maybe not.
Gotcha. Well, let's get right on into it, because formed in 2019, Royals got off to a great start, releasing several singles and music videos, followed by your debut EP, Painted Gold, and then COVID ruined our lives in 2020 with the band swiftly adapting with new members. I know, right? And I just want to get right on into it, because I couldn't imagine the learning curve that you guys have experienced during COVID-19. And what have you came out of this from this god-awful experience?
Well, some good stuff's really come out of it, to be honest. I mean, we took it upon ourselves to self-produce the last few songs on this EP. So we'd already gone and recorded a couple with Seb Barlow from Neck Deep. And I own a little studio here, which we're in. And because of COVID, we had no choice. So we recorded them ourselves in this very room. So that was a big thing for us. And other than that, it's been a lot of practicing, a lot of writing, obviously by ourselves to begin with, but now we're starting to see each other again. So it's
yeah,
good.
that's right. I know, right? You can actually touch each other. There's no mask on. You guys, everything's feeling good again. But you know what, Royals? With the return of live music happening this year, I truly believe with you guys, there's a pop punk renaissance happening in the new decade, and I think you guys are taking the charge big time. And in fact, Alternative Press also feels the same way about you guys, and they listed you guys as the top 10 rising UK pop bands. And how does it feel to be the future leader of the pop punk world?
Really nice.
Expound on it, my friend. Expound. Like,
literally. Yeah, no, it's good. It feels really good. I mean, we're all like super proud of what we've done, and we've had some great response so far. And you know, like, we just want people to hear what we do, and hopefully they love it as much as we do, because that's all we can ask for, really.
I know, and you guys, I know that, you know, we used to joke with previous bands like the Blowies who wrote about the CDC, and you guys have a song called Worldwide Catastrophe, which we're going to be playing the music video in a moment. But like, don't you feel like when you write about a song about COVID, don't you want to forget about it? Now you're going to be singing about it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, good job.
Well,
great.
Well, this is the misconception, though, is the song isn't strictly about COVID. That was kind of like a accidental kind of secondary sort of meaning. So the song was actually just about how crap of a state of the world was in. You know, like, we're living in a world where we still have so much hatred going on, and violence and racism and poverty and everything. But then COVID hit, and it kind of took on a double meaning. So yeah, it's not really just about COVID.
Yeah, because I noticed, Luke, that you have this lyric in Worldwide Catastrophe where you say, there's got to be a better way than just watch the world go down in flames. We could be the tidal wave. So how do you set the tone to be the tidal wave? What's the message, Royals?
So the message is, I just feel like, you know, our generation can kind of have this voice where we're like speaking out on things now and trying to make things better, right? And get rid of all of the corrupt and sort of bad stuff that's going on, right? And I just feel like we can be that tidal wave to put that fire out. It's essentially kind of the what the meaning behind that is kind of what I'm trying to aim for, and spread a positive message. Hopefully people feel the same.
You gotta love it. If you want to watch that full episode, I mean, obviously we're gonna be playing some mini clips from it. It's all over our YouTube channel that you're on, right now, tuning in, obviously. So you can check it out after the show. But you know what? They did reference Worldwide Catastrophe, right, Marissa? So it would be a sin for us not to play it, right? So let's show the CCS family what's good. This is Royals music video, Worldwide Catastrophe, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Wait, where is it? You didn't upload it. Nope, all I have. It's not here.
Okay.
All I have is fair weather.
Fair weather, friend. Okay,
yeah, that's what we uploaded.
Okay, well, that is on my mistake, my part. Okay, guys. So what we are gonna do? We're gonna be moving. We're gonna be playing another music video. That's the shit that happens in the real world. Hey, so listen, we're gonna be playing
Mercury. It's Mercury retrograde is almost over. This is what's happening.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. You can save that for your Mars and Moon talk. But you know what? Let's just play another song and a music video from that EP, A Spark to Ignite. This is Fair Weather Friend.
Hey Alexa, play Fair Weather Friend by Royals.
Hey there, fair weather friend. I've been wondering where you've been. So tired of waiting on your call. Hey there, fair weather friend. If we started over again, another time, another place, would it be any different? Would you be there when I needed you to pull me through? When I'm black and blue, we're running out of time. Lately I'm lost without you by my side. Where were you when I was lost? And I needed help to be strong. You said we'd ride or die trying, but we fell through the cracks, still lying on the floor, broken and alone, broken and alone. So here's my current goal. I won't be made the fool. You built me up, then you broke me down. Now I don't need you around. I won't let you be my anchor. I won't let you break my stride. Now I'm moving on. Where were you when I was lost? And I needed help to be strong. You said we'd ride or die trying, but we fell through the cracks, still lying on the floor, broken and alone, broken and alone. When I was lost, and I needed help to be strong. Where were you when I was lost? And I needed help to be strong. You said we'd ride or die trying, but we fell through the cracks, still lying on the floor, broken and alone. We're lying on the floor, broken and alone, broken and alone.
All right, that was Royals, and that was their track Fair Weather Friend. And hey, if you're joining us just now, welcome. We are doing something a little different today because we have a brand new music podcast coming out at the end of the month on Off the Fret. More music talk, and joining us on our second Off the Fret music podcast is Southampton UK pop punk artist Royals. And here's a clip from last season with Royals discussing mental health and their brand new track Jaded from their new EP, A Spark to Ignite, out now wherever you listen to music. Let's give it a listen, fam. But I noticed that Jaded, when I was reading about you guys, that this song was a personal track to you as it addresses mental health. And I've spoken about this plenty of times on this show. And to be honest with you, Luke, I don't truly understand what mental health means. So what does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, it can mean so much, can't it, to different people? But for me in this scenario, like it was written towards the sort of middle peak of like the lockdown and COVID situation over here, where I was just going through a really down time and I was quite miserable and depressed and like we were isolated, couldn't see any friends, couldn't do anything fun, and I was just in this real bad state of mind. And I basically wrote it in a way. It was like, you know, we say like we just want things to go back to the way they were before and stuff like that. It was like I was just feeling so miserable. To be blunt about it, I was just feeling crap, and that's where the sort of meaning of the song came from. But I guess with everyone with mental health, it can be different. You know, it could be, you know, depression, anxiety. There's all these different things, and everyone's affected differently. And I just wanted to spread a message that, you know, like you're not alone. Like everyone goes through these things or can do, and especially in the last year, a lot of people we've spoken to, and I'm sure the guys will agree with me, it's been difficult. And we just wanted to spread a message that, look, we've been through it too, and we'll get through it and hopefully get back to where we were.
But there was go for it, Marissa.
Yeah, what's one thing you do to get yourself out of a funk?
For me, I mean, my advice for anyone would be like, do something you enjoy, right? That makes you happy. So for me, it's always been music. So like writing is like my release. And I think because we weren't able to gig and like practice as a band, like I wasn't getting that release that I normally get, like playing music. So writing is my only form of release, and that's where the song stemmed from. It's like I had to put my feelings and emotions into words to get them out, and then releasing the song was like this huge sense of like, I don't know, like this weight lifted off my shoulders, just like releasing that to the world and being like, yeah, like letting out my problems and being open about them and being able to talk about them. So I would say to people, do something you enjoy, do something you love, and take your mind away from whatever crappy situation you may be in.
Don't drink. I tried the drinking aspect and I was like, why am I more depressed? I'm like feeling good.
But there was a particular line in the track where you sing, "We were so young and naive, so the last 6 months have taken a toll on me." What do you wish when you were younger and naive that you wished in 2021 people would just go back to?
Yeah, so I mean, when I wrote that line, it was kind of about like, I mean, this scenario was like, you take everything for granted, right? Like you never imagine you're going to have this pandemic and be in a lockdown and not be able to just see your friends and meet up for like, I don't know, a drink or go out and just do something together, right? And it was like, just kind of that feeling of like, we were, when I say we're young and naive, it was not necessarily speaking back to when we were young, it's just like, we didn't think like we wouldn't have these opportunities to do these things, right? So it's like,
right,
it doesn't have to be about COVID, but it could just be like about anything. I wanted to write it in a way that people could relate, even if it was maybe about a relationship, right? It's like, you know, the last 6 months have taken a toll. That could be about anything, right? That could be about your situation, whether that be to do with COVID or a terrible relationship or whatever it may be. So that's kind of what I meant by that. Hopefully that makes sense to
yeah, no, it absolutely does. And I did want to bring, oh, sorry. No, come on. I didn't hear you coming.
And I was just saying, I feel I really relate to that as well, because I feel like he took me for granted there because I wrote that line.
Gotcha. So you're but you know what, I do want to bring in Will, Alex, and Tom 1 and Tom 2, thing 1 and thing 2. So definitely want to get you guys in here because I noticed there's like this hidden message with your music video in Jaded, because I noticed that everyone in the music video is in a white suit and Luke is dressed in red with red pills. Is there a hidden message with the color composition? Like, talk to us, guys. What's going on with the music video?
So basically, yeah, there's actually, yeah, so it goes quite deep with that. So Luke in red and us all in white basically means Luke wants to be the center of attention. And we don't really matter.
He's green right now. Got it. But hey, we're about to be playing a music video where I see pink strings and, you know, and a pink drumstick. So it sounds like someone's trying to get attention now, the bass player and the drummer now, but we'll be playing that later. But did you guys really have a hidden message, or was that kind of like you wanted to let the listening audience kind of make their own judgment, I guess? Hey, Marissa, are we here?
reason why.
Go on,
like,
Tom, you take it.
I would have said it's just like you were the one that the song was personal to Luke, so it was like he was the one having these frustrations, and like red's quite a color you associate with that. And then with the clips of us walking past quite fast and things like that, we were almost playing like doctors in a mental sort of institution, and he was the one struggling with it, so it kind of made sense to have him in that different color. It also matched the artwork, so.
Okay, that was so strange. I've been glitching out this whole time.
I kept I'm getting yelled at.
No, because it stopped, and I thought this was my time. I am so sorry, family. It's just like it's just like how Marissa said. It just happens with those days. We're still very much remote. We're in a different space, different locations, and I apologize for even doing that to Marissa.
No, it was okay. I just got really nervous.
I saw my face freeze, and I'm like, oh, the video's done. I don't remember it ending right there. I better jump on in. But hey, listen, we appreciate you guys joining us with all the fun widgets that happen with the live show. But hey, we're about to be playing that music video that the Royals were just discussing with us last season. It's an amazing track. This song's called Jaded, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.
My mind's on overdrive, feels like I'm sinking into this mess that I created. These four walls got me jaded. I just wanna go back to a time when we felt alive. We were young and so naive. The last 6 months have taken their toll on me, and I know things will never be the same. No, things will never be the same. Can we rewind and start it all again? Dreaming of a life like it was back then. Oh, we lit a flame, but now it's burning out, burning out. We built these bridges, now they're falling down. But I'm still trying my best to fight it. You can't deny it. We're dying, so I just wanna go back to a time when we felt alive. We were young and so naive. The last 6 months have taken their toll on me, and I know things will never be the same. No, things will never be the same. I just wanna go back to a time when we felt alive. I just wanna go back to a time when we felt alive. We were young and so naive. The last 6 months have taken their toll on me, and I know things will never be the same. No, things will never be the same.
Yeah, that's what's good. That's the boys Royals, and that's their track Jaded off their brand new EP, A Spark to Ignite. And also, you guys got to check out these guys because they just dropped the music video on Wednesday. It's an amazing pop punk cover by the Kid Leroy and Justin Bieber. They did the song Stay, out now on all audio streaming services, or if you want to enjoy music videos like I do, go check it out on YouTube right after the show. And everybody stick around. We got more left. All right, this is What's Good because there's so much negativity on channels 2 through 11. So Marissa and I, we like to switch it up and let you guys know what's good. So on Monday, October 11th marks International Day of the Girl Child, a day that raises awareness about the needs of adolescent girls across the globe, highlights the challenges they face, and encourages everyone to help empower the women of tomorrow. It's also the perfect occasion to take a closer look at the women of today and the ones opening doors, blazing new trails, and breaking glass ceilings as they help to pave the way for the next generation. So let's take a closer look. I mean, this is really, really cool. I mean, just 20 days into the year and moments after President Joe Biden took the oath of office, Kamala Harris was sworn in as Vice President of the United States, making a first for any woman. I mean, it's so incredible. It still feels very surreal. And also on February 7th, Sarah Thomas made history as the first female referee to officiate a Super Bowl when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in Tampa, Florida. So sorry, Kel. Your Chiefs still lost. You're going to have to live with that forever. But, you know, as the game progresses, so do the referees. And the 39-year-old writer, editor, producer, and director of Nomadland, Chloe Zhao, became the first Asian woman and the first woman of color and only the second woman at all in 93 years to ever take the top honor in the Best Director category. And now she's the first Oscar-winning director to direct a Marvel film, The Eternals, coming out later this year. And also, I think this is probably one of my favorites this year just because she's a part of our generation. Another first from Inauguration Day makes the list with Amanda Gorman, who was the youngest person to become an inaugural poet when she read her piece, The Hill We Climb, at the age of 22. I mean, Marissa, is there anybody on this list I'm sure that I'm missing out on that we definitely need a highlight, or does this seem pretty cool? I mean, there's a lot of things happening.
So there are so many women out there making first, going forward, that it would take beyond a show to list them all. I think you hit a beautiful over. I just want to say one thing is, why girl child? I'm just saying, like, everybody knows if you're a girl, you're a child. So I feel like the double conundrum was not necessary. Love the day, all about but you know,
it's kind of
did
true.
a man name it?
I guess, you know, we're not supposed to be speaking too negative on it, but yeah,
it's good.
The holiday name is a little strange. International Day of the Girl Child. It almost sounds like it's about to be like this heavy metal song, you know.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, it's a cool band.
International
International Day of the Girl Child.
I just feel like it's got to be in B tuning, heavy chugs, all that kind of progression. But hey, listen, this is What's Good. We got a lot of great women out there today. And just know, you guys are special all the way around, everything. Okay? Because we love you. We love you, fam. But hey, we just want to thank everybody today for joining us for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. I also want to remind everybody that we still have an Off the Fret episode that's out now wherever you listen to podcasts with an amazing Texas political punk band, The Blowies. So go ahead and check that out because you're going to want to listen to the second episode when it drops at the end of the month with the Southampton, UK boys, Royals, when they join us. And Marissa,
who is next week's guest?
That's right. We're beyond stoked to have returning to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. She gives Billie Eilish a run for her money. Just saying. Chloe Wilder will be joining us as the next up-and-coming artist from Clearwater, Florida, to discuss new music and obviously her album that we all love, Teenage Lullaby. And if you like what you're listening to, go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today and get that free CCS t-shirt. For now, be safe, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you next week, fam. Peace! The Chris Collins Show presents Music Storm 2021, hosted by Chris Collins and Marissa Pitts, featuring Tiana Kutcher, Some Daggers Wear Red, Desmond Walker, Doulos, Saturn till June. YT Will.
It feels good to be the bad guy. Walk these shoes, you'll see why. Look at things from both sides. Ain't nothing like the
EC Main.
one thug. Lord, show a little mercy on one thug.
The Phoenix Within.
There's more weight in my words than you give me.
Chloe Wilder. Jonas and I. Kane. And Animal Sun.
So tell me how do you see reasons to carry on?
Music Storm 2021. Available on YouTube Live. Peace. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat. Hello.
You would look
Can you
so
hear me?
jazzy. I love your outfit. How far would you go to start playing live music again? This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So, are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? Everything is Everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So, if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what? I love it. Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace.